Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Crafty Monday. Today we're doing, if you guessed, and I'm quite sure some of you did, we are doing Maggie. Oh my God, he is so cute. He is really cute. I think you're going to enjoy this one. It's such a cute one, and you can do it with whatever you have at home. Just, go by estimates on my my punch-in circles. I'm quite sure you've got lots in your craft room that you can use as templates, or draw your templates up if you need to. I hope you've all got your cuppa today because, I've needed this today. I've got a very dry throat. If I sound very croaky, it's because I've got a very dry, sore throat today, and I need that cuppa to keep it wet. So, welcome. We're doing sketch number 7 today, and I hope you're keeping your sketches because they go hand in hand with the colouring book. And if you put Maggie down, and I'm quite sure some of you have already been in and put Maggie down, you'll get Maggie's colouring book completely free, and you'll be able to start some activities with some of the kids or your grandkids, or if you're a young mum, or if you're a nana. It's good to have them shared. I had my little nephew here yesterday, and oh my God, when he saw me taking a photo of him and his mum and his dad and then putting it together in a colouring page for him, he got so excited. It just reminded me of Addie. She got so excited. Little kids get very excited about seeing themselves, and he go, oh, that's me. But our Aussie friends have been included in the pages as well as you can also put yourself as characters in there as well, which is a lot of fun for school activities, in the car, even if you're gone out for tea and you just need to take a few colouring pencils and pick a couple of pages, and the kids have got something to do while they're sitting there waiting for their meals and they're not running around, and especially in the ones where there's no playgrounds, in the hotels or wherever you go that don't have playgrounds. This is a great little activity for them. So if you're watching the replay later, don't forget to say hello, and love having you all here. Love sharing punch and die cutting art because it's one that I used to do so much and went on standstill for a little while, and now having Aussie month for me has given me a chance to come back and do it. So let's come down and start our project, or our card I should say. Okay. If you've got any questions, don't forget to leave them in there, and I will definitely come back and answer them later. Now, I'm going to start off with Maggie's tail. There's different places where you can start, but I'm going to start off with his little tail. And I've got some leaves here from the Impressions A Bloom bundle, and these leaves are just cute little leaves cut out, so I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to use them, and you can use them either way. So you can use them with the point, whichever way you want to use them. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. This is our two-way glue. I love this liquid glue, I should say. I know I said that wrong. Two-way. It's got two ends, but it's not the two-way. Okay, so a little bit of here. Now I'm sort of just eyeballing this. Now you can put this through an embossing folder if you want to. You can decorate it up more. You can put flowers in Maggie's hair. You can do so much, but I'm just going to start off with the basics for you on this video, okay? So I'm going to put my first one down, and I've gone black and white because Maggie's a black and white. And I'm going to come in just putting a tiny little bit of glue on the back, and I'm just going to come in with this one. Now you can make them look a little bit different each time depending on how you place them on your page, okay? So that's not a problem either. So this one's coming in sort of over like this, And if you want them, you know, with more, you can add more. As many as you want to make it look as good as what you want it to look, okay? And then I'm going to come in with this one, which is going to come in probably about there. Then I'm going to come down with one over the top of that. I figured you probably, I'm just going to put that one in there. Just so we've got a couple of black ones in there and a white one there. And a black one here. You can do it, which, like I said, whichever way you want. I want this one down a little bit, maybe like that. So, I didn't actually touch it where the glue is because I'm only putting the glue sort of on there, a little bit on the middle so that I can place it. So once you're happy with what you've got there for your tail, which I am, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm coming down with a bit of a wog, I think. I can feel it in my throat, but that's okay. Now the body, I use my 1 7/8 circle punch, but you can use whatever you have in your stash at home. And I'm going to pop this on around here, but I'm going to use 4 dimensions. I'm going to use 4 large dimensions on this one, just into the center, because if that way, if I want to stick stuff in around it, I can as well. So, and every one that you do will look a little bit different because it's really hard to do them all exactly the same. So we're going to put our body on here. He's so cute, this little thing. Okay, now we're going to do the head. So for the head, I have got my punch 1 3/4. Now this one had a bit of a rough edge just here, so I'm just going to smooth that off. 1 3/4, and then I use my owl punch. Now a lot of you probably still have the owl punch, and if you don't, you want to go for some circles that are around the size that you want. So I've got 2 white ones that came from the owl punch on the big circles, then 2 white ones, the smaller ones, and then 2 black ones also in the bigger ones. So I'm going to use my pick tool. I'm going to actually put this way, and I'm going to put this onto my black. Now, I couldn't find one that was just a bit bigger than this little one, so I'm going to do some cutting here. So I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to do some cutting on this one as well, on the black, not on the white, on the black. Okay, so I'm going to slide that down a little bit. Now I'm just going to make a little black around that because I didn't have a punch that sort of fitted just a slightly bit bigger than the white. So I'm just going to come around and cut this. It doesn't have to be perfect, by the way. It really doesn't. As long as you've sort of got a little bit of black around there, it's okay. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to have your little grandkids or your kids or doing that, and you don't want to make it like, oh, that's not good enough. You want it to be always good enough, whatever they do. Okay, so I'm just doing them a little bit wonky, but got a black pen here that we can change the colour around a bit if we want to. Now, I'm going to stick these. I'm going to pick this up. Who loves the pick tool? It's one of my favourite tools that I love to use. Just a little bit of black on here. Now, I'm going to put this on my little bit bigger white here. Okay, so I'm sort of coming down off that white a little bit. Okay, and same with this one. It's a cutie. It looks nothing when you're doing it. You sort of look at it and you go, oh, okay, that doesn't look like very much. And then when you actually do it, it looks really good. Okay, so we've done that. And then we're going to get this black pen. This is one of our journaling pens, but look, honestly, I love it because it gives you a very fine line. And I can just go around this circle also and just straighten it up a little bit, which is really good. Okay, so I can sort of straighten that up a little bit and it looks more like a circle. And the same with this one here. Just come in and straighten it up a little bit if you want to. Like I said, you don't have to. It just fills it in a few gaps. If you want to fill in those gaps, you can. Make it a little bit more rounded. It's entirely up to you. Then we're going to come in with our balmy blue, and I'm going with the dark, and I'm using the little light, the small end I'm using. So when you're looking at your blender pen, you've got a thick line here and a thin line. So we're going with the thin line side. And don't forget when you store your blends that you store them horizontal like this so that the ink distributes across. If you store them like this end will dry out. You don't want that to happen. So we're going to do a little circle of blue in here because, like I said, it was hard getting all the size circles that I wanted, but there's nothing stopping you from drawing them and cutting around them. So you can do as much or as little as you want. And I'm just going to do one on here as well. And the good thing about it too, if you want to hold it in place, you can hold it in place with your pick tool while you're doing this as well. It gets your finger out of the way. But I am very passionate about using my finger because I feel like I've got more control. Okay, so we've got a nice big blue eye there. And I'm just going to come in and do a little bit on this one, a little bit more. Okay, so we've got our blue in our centre of our eyes. Now we have our black blend as well. So we need to put in a black dot or circle. Okay, so we want to put in a black circle. And you can make them as big or as little as you want, okay? Now, there is these little ones that you get from the Owl Punch, but I find they're just a bit too tiny. They're just very, very tiny ones, and I find they're just a bit too tiny. So I'm going with using the pen. It sort of gives it a very soft feeling. And then I'm going to come in with my white pen. So I'm going to put my eye the way I want it. This is going this way. Okay, this is going this way. This is going this way. Got to work out which way you want your eyes, but you'll soon work that out. But I want to put the eyelashes on, so. Okay, so we want the white pen, and you're going to come in. I think this goes over this side actually, that's better. We're going to do a little white line under here, and then we're going to do a little circle in here, a little one in here, and then this one's going that way. Oh, it's looking over there. Okay, and then we're going to put a little white one in here, a little white one here, and just a little bit of a white under there. It's fun when you're doing this, isn't it? When you've got to work it all out. Now, I was trying to work out a piece for this sort of image here on my magpie, this little mouthpiece here. And I was thinking the pear shape is quite good because I could actually come down a little bit in size and I could actually cut around it and make the shape sort of the way I wanted it. Now, once you've got your first shape, you can keep that for a template. Okay, you can sort of go, and then you can put it back over your, whatever you're doing your template for. Again and again, you can do that. So this is going to go on here. Now, I'm going to just grab, not sure where my rubber is. I have my little nephew here and he was playing with them, so it could be over there, but that's all right. I found one. That's good. So we're just going to rub that pencil off because you don't want that showing. Now this is the head, and it looks a little bit like, oh my God. Now you can make this a little bit wider, rounder if you want to, but you're going to put the beak in there, and you've got to cut your beak out as well. And I decided I was going to do my beak in a grey colour. I can't even remember the colour of this one. And I'm going to draw it on there with the black. So I'm going to draw the beak. Sort of goes around and down. And you'll sort of do it a few times to get a little bit of a black image happening around this. And then you're going to come in and bring this one around and then down into like a beaky part here. Now, if you're not too sure, you can actually print out this twice and cut out his beak there and use that as a template. I think I've done it pretty well spot on that you can cut it out and use it as a template. Okay. Now, you can do either a red tongue on him, or you can colour him in black. I've just got black today, so I'm going to grab my black blend and I'm going to colour the tongue in black. Okay, then you want to cut that out. That's sort of like your beak. And we're going to do a little black mark on his nose as well. So this little black mark on his nose, you want to put a little bit of a black mark on his nose here. Now you can do a pointy beak, you can do a rounded beak. It's entirely up to yourself. Okay, there's no right or wrong. If you can always cut it down a bit if it's too big. You can always do it again if it's too small. Okay, now we're just going to come around and do sort of rounding here. Okay, that's not too bad. So you can just make sure that if you did it in pencil first, which I had a sort of bit of a rough idea of where I wanted to draw it in pencil, you can rub it off a bit. It won't matter. Okay, so our beak's going to go in here, which is going to look really cute on our Maggie. So we're going to stick this one down first. Just remember, to just do the middle of everything. Try not to do too much glue, because if you do too much glue, what happens? It spreads all over and then you get sticky stuff everywhere. This one's going to go up on a little dimension. So these are the baby dimensions. And don't forget when you're using your blends that it does go through to the other side of your paper. Okay, now this is going to go sort of like this. Okay, so you can sort of see how you put your nose on and you're drawing it. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed doing that bit. I know, it's tricky. And then we've got our little eyes. Once you put these eyes on, they're so cute. So we're going to put this one over here. I think I've done two the same way. I hope not, but I think I have. It can happen that way sometimes. That's not bad. And then I'm going to put some little eyelashes on here. And we can use our pen here if we want more of a distinct black center here as well, if you want to make it more distinct. Okay, so here's one. And now we're going to do the other one. And that goes in that sort of curvy bit there. Okay, looking quite cute. Okay, so once again, we're going to get our pen. We're just going to come in and darken this up a little bit. Oh, and we want to put our little eyelashes on this side as well. He's quite cute. Now, if you wanted to, you can always bring in some black circles. If you wanted to bring in a little bit of black around his face here as well, you could bring in some circles in here as well if you wanted to. Okay, so that's just another suggestion for you. Excuse me, everyone. Okay, sorry about that. Now his head's going in here. He's so cute. So I'm just going to sit that there for the moment, and I'm going to do some wings for him. Now these were also cut out of the Impressions A Bloom bundle. They remind me of feet, but they're actually leaves or parts of flowers. And I'm going to put 3 little ones on one side, and I'm going to put a black one, and I've got a bit of a white one that I cut off before, so I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on there, and you can see I'm not using a lot of glue, and I'm going to come in with that one like that. And then I'm going to come in here, put a little bit more glue, and I'm going to come in with this bigger one here. So we get a little bit of white showing through as well as the black. Okay. And then this is going to go on here, excuse me, with a bigger dimension. So we're going to put a bigger dimension on. He's like having a bath. He's got his wings flapping out. We haven't got his head on yet. We're just going to put the head on in a minute. Now down this side, you can add little wings underneath here if you want to. Like that's entirely up to you. So we're going to a black and a white one. That's just going to be back a little bit. So I'm going to do the white one first. And I'm going to put our black one here. Who put down that they wanted the Maggie colouring book, because these pages, these sketch pages, are so good to go with the colouring books for kids' activities. It's fantastic. Now, you can put this one underneath here if you want to, so it's sort of coming out underneath as well. So we're going to do that to start off with. I'm just going to do black here. A little bit of black coming out there. You can even add a white if you want to in there, so you can cut one off if you want to. And just add a little bit of white into it as well. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to turn that around a bit. Whoop. And that white one can go in sort of there. So it's sort of a bit of white. I'm going to put 4 dimensions around the top of the head, not over the body part, but around the top of the head. Okay, so 3, 4. So we can put that on now. He's so cute. And you can put him on an angle a little bit too. Like, you don't have to have it straight. You can have it a bit on an angle. And then we're going to get this one that we did before. We're going to put a large dimension behind this one as well. And then this one's going to come in around here. So you sort of like got your feathers happening. Now across this bit here, we're going to have a twig or a branch. So just, this was a scrap of brown. I'm going to see if it will fit. Oh, yeah, it'll be pretty okay, I reckon. I reckon that'll work well. I wonder if it will get dimensions. I might have to cut my dimensions in half for it to raise it up. I'm going to put one there and one there. That'll do for the moment. What's everyone been doing today? Is it cold where you are? It's cold here. But then I just find it cold at the moment. And then I cut out one of these branches, one of these leaves. This leaf was really cute, so I decided I'd go with this one. So what I've actually done is I just cut this one out first. So I cut this little one here. And I can glue this one down if I want to, or I can use a dimension. It's entirely up to yourself, but this is going to come sort of on there like that. And then I've sort of come in around there to come in, bringing that like that. So you can use little dimensions behind these ones. One behind each one. Who loves punch art? Tell me in the comments. Is punch art, like, I like to be able to get the most out of my tools. And that's what I love about sharing this with you guys as well, is that it shows you can get so much more out of your dies and your punches than just, you know, just using them for what they're for. You can use them for lots more things. Okay, so I'm just going to bring another leaf down. Put that on there with a dimension. And this one's just going to come down here a little bit. Okay. So he's quite cute. Now, like I said, you can put more on him, but I'm just showing you the basics today because half an hour goes really fast, and guess what? Half an hour is already gone. And then we're just putting it onto a card. Okay, I'm not doing anything else today but putting it onto a card front. and you can decorate this up. I can't wait to see what people do and share. You can share them in the comments, or if you're not sure how to do that, you can send them to me if you make them, and I'll put them up for you. I just love to see what other people are doing with their punch art, or I call it actually punch and die art now, because we don't have as many punches as we used to. So, but everyone will be done completely different, and then don't forget to put your insert in, okay? Insert. In here. Now the other thing you must remember is, if you're doing Mother's Day stores, putting your cards in hospitals or nursing homes or going to markets, you must put the angel policy on the back. Okay, so make sure you have an angel policy. We do have angel policies in our catalogue, and an angel policy is a copyright stamp that Stampin' Up! Has given you permission to use their images. I was lucky enough to have this one made for me, and it's got my name on it, but it's still got copyright Stampin' Up! Underneath it. Yeah, so really good little thing. So this is our little Maggie today. He is so cute. Let me come up and say hello to everyone. Okay, so here's one of, this is the one we just did. This is one I did a little bit earlier. It's got more white in it. So it just depends. They are, Pauline, so cute. Hi, Mavis. Loving Maggie. Yeah, Maggie's really good. And look, he's so cute. He really is. Just such a cute little Maggie he is. Drawing his beak, is probably the hardest thing, but thank you for the love hearts, love it. But I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Now, if you want the free Maggie colouring book, go back to the post that I've put up that says enter Maggie in the comments, and I will send it to you with the Maggie sketch and maybe something special as well. So I'll catch you all soon. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you all, and I hope you enjoyed Maggie. Bye for now.